From broke to boss, I flipped the script. Super Trucker Podcast got me fully equipped. Left the noise behind, now I'm stacking green. Voyager Nation made me live the dream.
Why most owner-operators quit right before it works.
And we talk about the psychological breaking point. So I think this one's pretty important, right? Because it aligns with this phone call we actually received as a recruiting line. So the individual calls in and he's talking about, he has a truck that's available to him, but he wants to know numbers because his buddy got into a lease-to-purchase. They promised him the stars, the apple pies, the blueberry pies, everything under the sun, grossing set amount. And then all the heavy-ass deductions started for that truck. And he's like, and the guy almost lost his home. He had to find a guy to drive teams with him to barely even kind of scrape by, not to lose his house. His credit is shot, his car. So there's a lot of underlying factors. So what I think is that bad boy is emotionally driven, right? Because we're talking about what the industry should be doing for you. However, we're also talking about how you show up, right? Why, in this conversation, what he never brought up is why did he take that lease to purchase? Why step into an environment that is not conducive to make money? He has to have some accountability for that. Because there are plenty of people that are actually making money and hitting the numbers in this day and age, today, last week, this week, and they will be fine.
Yeah, and look, the carrier that he went to, I can add even more shit to this baggage. We didn't force him to buy a house. We didn't force him to buy a car, and now somehow it's the lease purchase program.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So when we step into this game to buy a truck and become our own CEOs, that is part of it. We cannot bring in personal shit to the table to help out the story.
If you want to bring your personal shit into other people's business plans, be a driver. A lot of companies will love you for it. We will babysit you. We will wipe your ass, clean your tears. We will gonna do a lot of those things. We will help you in a bad situation. We will take care of you when there is a problem with a truck, when there is a problem with a load, when there is a problem with your emotional, being. Once you become an entrepreneur, you're a business owner. You are responsible for all the outcomes, whatever those outcomes are. Nobody is forcing you to do anything. And, at some point, when I started, if I would have failed, it's nobody's problem but mine.
Right, and so that ownership that has to be there is one of the toughest things, right? Because the guy's getting advice from other people, and then just the situation in itself, you're stuck in this purgatory of not making money, trying to develop a business plan around other people's experiences other than your own. So one of the things too is the individual has access to a truck that's his buddy's, and he can take it whenever he wants. So even that, I don't think that's a winning situation. I don't even know the full details behind it. I just wouldn't do that myself. So the reason behind that is because if I'm going to do this, I want to do it alone, because then I'm in charge. And I don't know necessarily what if I'm making it and then he's like, oh, I'll take my truck back. Now all of a sudden my business is halted.
Yeah. And on top of that, even, now the conversation continues. Now he had to hire a co-driver, so we run teams, so we make more money. That may sound cool for somebody's wife. That may sound cool when you're telling that story to somebody who hasn't been in the industry long enough. Mm-hmm. To me, that does not sound cool. To me, that sounds like one mistake after another, after another, after another.
Yeah, just amplifying everything.
And just hoping that the answer is elsewhere, not your business practice.
Right, because the guy you're bringing on teams, you're like, hey, do you have a house? Yeah, okay, come here. I'll show you how it feels like not to be able to pay the mortgage.
Let's do this together.
So, and again, guys, we're talking about this is why lifestyle versus discipline. Eliminate these easy kind of ways to do business. There's no shortcutting this. There's just one way: consistency, work, grit, and you get it done. The industry is what it is. Rates are moving targets. There are problems that happen in trucking, the same exact problems that were 20 years ago, 30 years ago, just this repetition. The only thing you're controlling is your mindset, how you show up, and what you're willing to do. And that right there is what will make the difference.
Yes. So in a short description is you can only control what you can control, meaning that you can control your work ethic and your equipment. That's pretty much it, your business decisions. Outside of that, if you're looking for somebody to blame for your own outcomes, congratulations, you're in that crew. But at the end of the day, I think it just do your own thing, do what matters, and stop looking for somebody to blame. If you need somebody to blame, just stay a company driver. You're just not cut for this.
Yeah.
Trucking is not the easiest business. If you want to start any other business, I would say, start with a hot dog stand. It's going to be a lot less stress than trucking, at least in my opinion. I never had a hot dog stand, so I don't know. I'm just guessing.
So hey, my hat goes off to the guy. He's definitely reaching out for information and calling that, but I'm just saying be open-minded and don't just pretend that the guy you're using as an example didn't make a mistake.
No, absolutely. And I just your description, that's one mistake after another. I would never make those mistakes.
Yeah. So here we go.
But now, I guess it's ego or whatever that is. Instead of admitting that, I fucked up, I should have done differently, or I need to readjust ASAP before it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest way is to blame somebody.
Yeah, to blame the carrier.
So that alone tells me that, okay, so that pretty much means that you haven't learned anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're just going to keep on repeating the same mistakes until you're out of business. And then, going back to the topic, quitting right before we make a difference, how many people have this mindset that I'm an owner operator when it's a good market, and then I'm parking when it's a bad market. That never worked out. Never in a million years. Not a single trucking company that you look at and wow, somebody made it. Nobody ever fucking made it doing that.
No, not small trucking companies, not big trucking.
Not any trucking company, not a fleet.
So let me tell you,
nobody. Not a single owner operator.
So imagine this, guys. Imagine you have 5 trucks, right? And they're all running. And then your best idea, the rates dip a little bit. So you as the CEO say, everybody park and go home. How much energy and inertia and time would it take you to find 5 drivers again? Make sure the trucks are good and running and propel that bad boy forward. It's a daunting task. So it's not going to work with 1 truck. It's not going to work with 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks, and let alone work with 50, 60 trucks. It's just,
and it's also never going to be, just a couple months. It's always going to be probably a couple years. Now imagine, what about the payments of a truck? What about everything else? You're going to be so gone by the time it shifts. You just gotta stay in business. You gotta stay in the fight. You gotta keep on running, adjusting to get the most out of it. But staying in business, staying in the fight, kicking it.
Yeah. So then we're not just gonna talk about that, but then who actually survives the 5-year plus journeys of being owner operators? What does that guy look like, and how does he think?
The people that instead of, first of all, don't hide behind their laziness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's number 1 owner operator business killer. The people that don't hide behind gossip, and the people that not trying to reinvent the truck.
Well, yeah, because I think they actually realized you don't control as much as you think.
Yeah, absolutely.
And no one's that excited that you showed up. You know that trucking can offer you a nice. You can make some money.
Yeah,
improve your lifestyle, but you don't control as much as you do. So the quicker you realize that and you find your little niche or what it is, you'll be all right.
Yeah, and you're never going to be able to live a Kid Rock lifestyle as an owner-operator because they're just 2 different lifestyles.
Yeah.
And a lot of owner-operators, what they're noticing is we think that being an owner-operator, puts them in that top tier, even though it does, but at what cost?
Yeah.
And a lot of owner-operators not willing to pay up that cost. So, yeah, you can live way, way out there, but you got to be hustling every day. You can't miss a day. But now you create your lifestyle with these standards, and now you work somewhere right there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't match.
Yeah. So the guys that are surviving the 5-year plus is not just how they show up; it's also their financial literacy and they're very what they do with those profits. Having that piggy bank for the maintenance, having for the taxes, having just not living beyond what they make, and just slow and steady. It just compounds year after year after year, and eventually you're building a little something.
Yeah. Most of our long-term owner operators, nobody parked a truck in the last few years. Everybody just kept on grinding, kept on pushing. Sometimes you make a little bit more, sometimes you make a little less, but you stay in the fight.
I'm not gonna lie. Some guys have, changed how they run a little bit, maybe scaled it down to, because they had some personal stuff, or scaled it down being home every weekend, but then got back right out to their normal. They do have some changes and fluctuations, because they do have personal lives, but they never quit. They never stopped. And that's the consistency around them.
So I would say change is just part of a business.
Right.
So that's what they say. Sometimes you can achieve the same goals while working less. That's when you have to make a decision. Should I still work more and achieve even more? But if you decide that I can work a little less and still get my goals, it's fine. What's not fine is being unable to adjust and thinking that the world needs to adjust for you. And unfortunately, I've been waiting for 25 years. Fucking haven't happened once.
So pay attention to that. Just everybody's experience is a little bit different. It's the details that come behind those experiences. So just like this guy, that's, he's calling different companies, illustrating what happened to his friend. But what about these guys, the 5 years? Like, sometimes they'll tell you their story and maybe they can scale it back a little bit and all that. But again, what about the 4 years prior to that of the consistency to be able to build to certain environments where, yes, he's got a good running truck because he has a maintenance program, but it took a lot of consistency and hard work to get to this area. So that does not happen overnight. So
yeah, nobody wants to talk about that. Everybody just wants to, everybody who lost a truck has this war story, how back in the day we used to kill it and then somebody just fucked it up for them.
All right. So be like those guys that know how to win consistently. Guys, we got that magic formula, 863-342-5171.
All right, guys, take care. Be safe out there.
Operators looking for the best business owner opportunity, look no further. I got all the programs that are going to make you successful. Everything to operating from 2 different fuel cards, top of the line trailers with a maintenance program that is unbeatable, to plates, insurance, you name it, we got it. All you got to do is give us a call, 863-342-5171. Learn more and get started.